don't know if I could tell you this one. Yeah, let me try to tell it. Listen, some of this stuff is different. I'm gonna be editing stuff out, so. But y'all probably won't even know anyway. So, these are some Puffy stories. Like, people like, did you ever meet Puff Daddy? Absolutely. See, one thing I can tell you about Puff, like I tell you, I like Puff and I like Suge. Y'all don't understand that I judge people like off of who they are and how they, appear to be. Puff was great, when we met him. And when we met him, met him through Floyd. And this was very funny because F. Gary Gray, Tyrese, Jamie Foxx, Floyd Mayweather, there's a lot of brothers together. And at this time, they was talking about starting a film project. And 50 was even there at this time. 50 was cool. Everybody was cool with each other at this time. And they were talking about going into business together and coming out with their own distribution company and getting this deal done so they could start putting out films. And they were going to let F. Gary Gray, direct them. But he already had a deal and a contract with one of these companies. He wasn't a free agent. He owed this company a couple of movies. I shouldn't even be talking about this. Hold on. But zip that. Okay, let's get to the gist of it. And another reason, like I said, I couldn't believe Puffy's story about Suge, because as far as the tone in which he approached Suge, because he was scared of me. Puffy was scared to death of me. For the whole day and a half, Puff was terrified of me. And you guys know me, you guys listen to me every day. Puffy was scared of me. And he got bodyguards and security. He had no reason to be afraid of me. I wasn't even threatening. Everybody know me, I'm not a threatening person at all. He was more upset, I think, at his security staff, because his security staff was lagged because of the simple fact they was under the false sense of security that I'm with Floyd, so I must be okay. I mean, I didn't pose no threat. There's nothing on me. I didn't get patted down by anybody, but we're in an area where if people not supposed to be there, they not supposed to be there. But we was a place where people supposed to be. So there was no problems. So his security was like, well, he ain't no problem. But Puff didn't even know I was that close to him. I wasn't trying to get over there to go, hey, Puff, how you doing, man? Let me shake your hand. I was going my way. He was talking in a conversation, so when he looked over his shoulder and saw me, he gave me his full attention. He stopped and turned around. He had these sunglasses on, and I just gave him a hand. And I was like, hey, what's up? And then I kept it moving. And then he came over and shook my hand. Hey, what's up, man? And then he walked off over there to the security, like, let me talk to y'all. Like, who is this dude? Why is this guy this close to me? Like, he ain't do nothing to me, but who is he? Why is he over here? And this and that. So Floyd went, and Floyd was nervous because Puffy was nervous. So he was like, what happened? Was there something wrong? He was, nah, ain't nothing wrong. And then he chilled out, because Floyd he good. Like, he ain't bothering nobody. Did he say something to you? Nah, he just said, hey, what's up? And he kept it moving. It was no bothering nobody, no nothing. So we went and sat down, and that was that. And once we sat down, it was like he was still kind of like, I can't come around, dude. He kept trying to befriend me, trying to well, let me fill him out and break some ice so I could feel better about it. And I'm like, I don't know why he was so worried and concerned about me. I'm like, why is this dude worried and concerned about me for? Then, they got the word yeah, well, don't go in this room because they having some private conversation. And he just want to make sure, he don't know you like that. I'm like, I'm trying to get to point A to point B. I didn't know who was in the room. I'm walk through. I'm not trying to talk to Diddy. I'm good. I ain't got nothing to say to him, really. But his concern shouldn't be me. They was like, well, just stay here. I'm like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I walk from A to get here. I can't just teleport here. I gotta walk through the other room to get to here. If there's another door that magically leads to here without going through there, then yeah. But I'm good now. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm good. So there is no problems. I'm like, y'all keep coming back in here like it's conflict. Y'all making like a mountain out of a molehill. It's really nothing. So, Diddy done came back there. He always smiling. He was like pointing at me, giving me the, hey, what's up? I'm like, why are you trying to act buddy when you behind the scenes, you creating all this chaos? And, and Floyd like, man, tell you boy this and that. Because Floyd ain't going to tell me nothing. Because Floyd would be like, I don't know how dude going to react, so I'm going to tell somebody to tell me. So, that's just how it went. Normally it'd be P. Riddler. Oh, it's my cousin's birthday. She just telling me she love me too. Oh, love you too, cuz. But anyway, that's how that went. It was blown way out of proportion, and it meant nothing. But that just shows you how fearful he is. So my thing is, how in the world was he gonna talk to Suge like that? To this guy who wanted to try to make it look like Puffy is tough, and he, Puff tough. I'm like, Puff a cool dude. I mean, I don't take nothing from him. He's pretty cool. And we met before through another friend of mine. And then Gold and them, they stayed at St. Pete. It's the Super Bowl. It's Tampa. And he's got a party on Ybor. And we finna go out there to the party on Ybor. And we supposed to all come through the back. Floyd is out there. And Floyd's going out there. And everybody there. And the Steelers is playing the Cardinals. And Floyd had his own little thing going off on the same street. So Floyd was like, man, I'm going to come to yours, you come to mine, and all this. But then Floyd had his own little thing over there. That we kicked it over there. Then we came to Puffy thing. And when we came rolling over to Puffy's, everybody was let in and for free. But they wanted me to pay $250 to get in the Puff thing. Like, I wasn't going to be allowed to come in for some crazy reason. It's another situation where I was, they wanted me to pay $250 and go back out the other way. I'm like, dude, I already came in with them. Why do I got to go out and pay $250? They was like, yeah, well, you got to pay $250 to come in the Puff thing. You got to go through the front. I'm like, to the front? I'm not finna pay. Man, I'm not here to see Puff. I just came because they came, so I'm done now. I can leave. I ain't got to be here. So I went to I kicked it with John Starks and a couple of other NBA players at John Starks' thing down the street. Y'all saw me kick it with John Starks. Because I'm like, I would rather hang out with John Starks than Diddy. That's just me. So, once again, another situation. He was cool. Like, man, like, that wasn't his deal. And everybody was like, man, that wasn't even Puffy Call. That was the dude who owned the place. It was too many people, they said, was coming in through the back. And the security and all them people, they couldn't monitor it. So it was not even Diddy Call. So don't be mad at Diddy. I'm like, Diddy want to make sure, like, he ain't screw you over. I'm like, my boys was in there, Go and all them. They, it didn't seem like Diddy cared. Didn't even notice it. Nothing. They had Michael Irvin and all these other people in there. They did their thing. One of our guys, he played in the league. He used to be defensive end or whatever for the Eagles. Played for a couple of teams. So he live out there in Tampa. So near Tampa, rather, St. Pete, same thing. But still, another incident where there's Diddy. Then it's the Marquez fight, '09. Before, when this is like they announced the fight, Pacquiao had just knocked out Ricky Hatton. They announced the fight, Mayweather's fighting Marquez. So, while this is going on, he's getting ready for Marquez and all this stuff. We out at the, in Vegas, and the only person that's going to the fight, celebrity-wise, for Floyd, after all his boys, really was Diddy. Puffy was the only one really there showing support. That's what I'm saying. Puff was the realest one because everybody else is like, man, we doing something. We got something to do. They ain't want to show up to the Marquez fight. Diddy showed up to the fight to support Floyd and was at the after party. And that's when Diddy was like, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, what's up, man? It was no problem. It was nothing but love. Diddy came through, showed everybody he was real. There was no problems whatsoever. Diddy made sure everybody was cool that came in there, took care of everybody. Like, we ain't had no tab, nothing. He was extra polite, extra nice to us. That was actually before the Super Bowl time. So that's what I'm saying. We actually had a good rapport before. Like, that time when we vibed real good, then for some reason, like at the Super Bowl, like they said, that wasn't Diddy's call. Like, dude was like, hey man, that wasn't Diddy's fault, man. I was like, dog, I called y'all. So y'all can straighten it out, but y'all didn't want to do that. But it's cool because I had a better time down the street. I don't want to kick it with all these celebs and everybody just all stuck up. I'd rather go down to where everybody getting buck wild at and kicking it at and live like a superstar. So we went there with a couple of NBA players and some players I ain't gonna name, but John Starks is one of them. I can name John, and John Starks and it's cool. So they was like, you cool with John Starks? Absolutely. So me and John kicked it in there. We had a great time. So once you hang out with an NBA player coming to the place, any chick in there, it's just, they do crazy stuff. It's really wild. But I can tell you this. Diddy did not talk to that man in that tone. That's public record. So, there it is. First-hand knowledge. Me telling you flat out, 3 different occasions. So I'm like, Diddy used to be afraid of me. So how in the world was he gonna sit there and talk to Suge Knight in that type of tone? Told you, Suge would have checked that at the door. You just ain't gonna talk to Suge any old kind of way. Suge ain't the type that's gonna come at you real disrespectful. He's not that. He's not what people like make him out to be. And I want to point something out to these East Coast people, too. Because y'all a little delusional. When y'all keep talking about how the West Coast didn't accept Tupac until he decided to start dissing the East Coast. Y'all East Coasters got a lot of things mixed up and twisted about the West Coast. Let me explain something to you. Okay? The Bay is not Los Angeles, okay? They are entirely different. San Francisco, Oakland, those areas in the Bay Area are completely different from Los Angeles. Alright? It's just like you guys in New York, you guys got Philly on one end, okay? Delaware and Jersey, Philly and Jersey and all that, and you guys could probably tell each other apart. Okay, but you guys didn't have a gang problem. See, with different gangs, it's a lot different when you go to different cities. Or it's like you're not from there. You might be from the West Coast and you might be from one side. But if you're not from there, LA, sometimes they don't respect other people from the Bay. They just don't. It's a whole different walk of life. People in LA go to the Bay. It's not the same. You gotta really know somebody over there. It's not the same thing. You guys on the East Coast make this mistake all the time. You think the Bay is like really warm and hot all the time. The Bay is freezing. It's colder than the Midwest half of the time. This is what I keep trying to tell you. You don't know anything. You guys probably have never been past Philly. Or you took a chick out to Jersey. To the boardwalk. That's probably the closest you've been out of the city. Listen. Don't talk about what you don't know about. Pac had issues in LA because he came from the Bay. He came from Oakland and Marin City. Okay, when he came from that area and went to LA, he had some run-ins early on because he's from over there. But he knew a lot of people in LA. But still, a lot of people didn't really vibe with him. But I would never say, if I was y'all, that they didn't follow Pac. That's dumb. His album sold 1 million records. He sold 5 million records before he dissed the East Coast. Hit 'Em Up came out as an EP after the record already, All Eyes on Me, sold 5 million records. So, I don't know what you talking about. Then, after that album came out, everybody loved him. This was before Hit 'Em Up dropped. Hit 'Em Up just set it off with, this is like, the West Coast is like, we riding. That's all it did. But you guys have a very mixed up opinion about the West Coast. And y'all need to stop that. Really, y'all do. Y'all need to learn and get with people that's actually been to the West Coast that could actually tell you there's a difference. And then you would appreciate it probably a little bit better and have a little bit more respect. Because that's where things get lost. Y'all don't have any respect. See, we learned that early on. Maybe because you guys had to do that to be tough. Where we didn't have that problem because where we from, we're the home of gangs. There are many different gangs. So you know the unspoken rules of not saying too much, not doing too much, being respectful. Always check before you do things. These are unspoken rules that you gotta follow because they will be the last rules. There's a lot of people that's not here today who's just like, man, that ain't nothing. Man, y'all was worried about nothing. They ain't here today. They didn't get another warning. They didn't get a shot. They thought they was gonna get a pass. They didn't get a pass. They on the other side of the dirt because they was playing with it. Thought it was a game. And other people didn't believe it. It was a game. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Just be respectful. So, alright, I'm out. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long.